Hello there, my darlings. I've got to tell you what. You don't need to be psychic to know that nails are sometimes temporary, and what a good time for me to demonstrate to you how to put these nails on. Now, I have the supplies out here, what we need, and I buy a box of nails from the beauty supply store, and you may see they've got some numbers on each little compartment there on the lid. I think you can see that. And I know what numbers my fingers are, but we're going to show that. Plus, I have this, which is, it's a refill. Now, what I use is for dip nails. You can look at this. I got all of this from Amazon. I am not sponsored, but you can look under dip nails. What you want is the base. Now, this is a refill. This is the little bottle. And sometimes if I'm traveling, I'll make sure that I take this with me just in case of emergency. But you can see, and whatever brand you want is fine. I happen to like this particular brand, if you can see it. So it says base, the base coat. This is for dip nails. It's not a nail polish, just so you know that, okay? Now, this is a quick dip. It's out of a kit for dip nails, but it is a nail primer, and it actually helps dehydrate your nail. And of course, we have a top coat and the polish of choice, which is OPI, and it is, let me see if I can get this right here. Malanga wine, I think it is. Yes, I think that's what it is. So, okay, so let's get started. Oh, and of course I have a nail block, which is a soft, it's a soft texture, soft edge. And then this is a little harder, and this is a coarse nail. It's 100 grit. I use this as well. Let me see here. These I want to show you because sometimes when you buy press-on nails, the kit, you get these little, and these are little nail files, which are very good. I've used these before too, and these are really good to take in your handbag, purse, or something like that in case you have an emergency. This is an orange stick. Funny because years ago, when you would buy the press-on nails, the stick was actually orange, but they are made, supposedly made from orange wood. That's what it's supposed to be, but that's where that orange stick comes from. And then I have some kitchen paper, just in case we have a little boo-boo. All right, first thing I do, before I do anything, because we're going to have to clean this nail up. Before I do anything, I come in here and I find what nail is going to fit. So when you look at this, they come in different categories. Be cautious, don't spill these. But if you do, the good news is, let me get one of these so I can show you. They're hard to pick up for me. They have a number on the underside. You probably can't see that, but it is printed on the underside of the nail. And you can see, you know, they need a little bit of filing and so forth. So, okay. So, we got that there. I typically am a number 3. So, we're going to check this out. And if it fits, great. And if it doesn't, we'll go to a number 2. It's not going to fit, I can tell you this right now. So we'll go, I'm sorry, this is a number 3. This is a number 2, number 3, and then this is 4, 5. So it starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, we're going to try this, and I think it's too big. It is too big. Maybe. I think it is, though. We can come back and try it. We're going to try a number 4. And what you want is you want both sides to be covered. I believe that's it right there. And let me compare it to my other nail that I have on my other hand, because they're usually both the same, and it looks the same. Looks very close. I'm going to put that out here just in case. And maybe we'll try a number 5. They get smaller as you go down in number. No, I can feel. Now, this here across your nail is called the apex. There's a natural curve in the nail. So if you place it on your nail and it feels like it's going to pop up like from either side, then that's not a good fit. I believe this is the fit that I'm going to go with. Okay, so now I'm going to close this so I don't spill them. Here we are. We're going to put this, we'll put this right here. Now the next thing that we do, the next thing I do, is I take a gentle nail file. I'm going to use one of these just because this might be what you have. Okay? And you can tell I've used it before. And so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to push back the cuticle. And the skin that is here right at the bottom of your cuticle that's on your nail, that's what you want to get off, because you're going to have lifting if you don't. It doesn't hurt. It shouldn't hurt. But here's the trick to this, my darlings. Okay? When you're doing this, always etch, and it's called etching. You don't want to sand. You don't want to buff. You etch the nail in the direction that it grows. Because when you do this stuff, that makes your nail weak, and it'll make your nails peel. So just easy, okay? And I had a little bit of glue product on there. That looks like that's coming off, okay? Now what I want to do is I want to trim my nail down a bit, so I'm going to do that. Pardon the noise for those of you who can't stand that. Sometimes it's hard for me to take too. So get the corners. Don't do this like I was doing. You go from one corner to the middle, one corner to the middle. And you don't sand. You don't go back and forth. You can go in the one direction. Okay, so we're going to see this. I'm going to put my nail down here. So, okay, there we are. Much better, much better. Now, what I'm going to do just for this minute is I'm going to take the edge of this file, and I'm going to make sure, because that's where you want to make sure that your nail is attached on all around the perimeter of your nail. Of course, in the middle, but if it's not in the perimeter, or if it's not on the edges of your nail, the perimeter of your nail, then you're going to have a hard time keeping your nail on, and especially keeping water out. That's the most important thing, because you do not want fungus caused by water. I do dishes, I do everything with mine, but I always make sure that the edges are still intact, okay? So there we go. We're going to do this. I'm just going to get down in there. That's what you do. You just get down in there. You shouldn't be hurting. If you're hurting, you're too rough. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to smooth this out. I'm going to move this nail that I'm going to use. I'm going to smooth this out. This may be a longer video, my darlings, but okay, so even with this very light sanding block, that's what they call them. It's a nail block, file block. You want to go in the direction that your nail grows. See, so there we are. Hope you can see that. I just wanted to make sure that the edge is not ragged. Okay, so now what we do is I'm going to grab this nail again, and I want to put it on here, and I want to make sure that it fits, that there's no gaps. And I think this part of the nail just needs to be tipped or filed just a bit. And be careful, because the nails will file quickly and you don't want to ruin them, because you pay attention to where your cuticle line is, see? And mine is kind of square. So let's see now. That's much better. That is much better. Okay, so now we're going to finish prepping the nail. And I'm going to wipe the nail off a little bit because I know I've got debris on there. And when you're doing this, you're going to want to wash your hands. But I'm going to wipe this off because I'm okay with that. Okay, next step, my darlings, is you take this primer. Now, if you don't have nail primer, you can use alcohol. You can use hydrogen peroxide. I've used that. Or you can use nail polish remover, acetone. And what you want to do, don't go to the cuticle. What you want to do is you want to start at the edge of the nail and just tap it, because you'll see that this spreads very quickly. And be careful of getting to the cuticle because you don't want your nail to burn. And just a little bit goes a long way. You're going to feel heat. You're going to feel the heat on this. But it's not burning. It won't burn. Okay. Now while this is drying, or wet actually, is what I want to say. You don't have to wait. Let me get this open. I always tighten these too tight. Give me a second. I'm going to untighten it. Okay, I'm here. So, what you want to do is this is going to look a little gooey because it's for dip nails. A very thin coat. Be careful not to get it on the side walls of your skin on your nail. It won't hurt anything. You just have to wipe it off. There you go. Now, we're going to let this dry. So the secret of this is this dip base provides a cushion base between the nail glue and your nail. So this is going to dry for a moment, okay? I'm going to let this dry so you're not on here waiting. It just takes a few seconds, but I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to show you what step we go to then. Be right back. Okay, so we're back. This is pretty much dry now. So I want to say this. I just wanted to show you, this is what I refill this little bottle for. So we're not going to use this today, but that is actually, well, I like this brand, but I like the bottle. Okay, I like the brush. So this is actually the dip base that I use, Azure Beauty. So you want to do that, because it's always better to refill, because these little bottles don't hold much and they'll last you, if you're putting on nails, maybe 3 sets, maybe. Okay, so we have our nail right here. So what I want to do, here's another thing that you can do. Now, what I do is I take one of these little Charlie Cheapos here, and I bend it, and I want to etch the back of this nail. Any nails that you get, any nail kit that you get, you're going to want to etch the back of this nail. Take the shine off of it. because that's going to help it stay on. Okay? I don't blow it because you want to keep everything pretty much sanitary and without anything that you have to worry about. Okay, so there we go. We've got that. That is etched. Now, this is the brand of nail glue that I use. Glam Beauty. All from Amazon. Again, not sponsored, but here we are. Be careful with this. You don't want to spill it. I just take a little bit. You don't need to load up your brush so it goes crazy. Just do a little bit so it forms a ball, okay? So I do not start at the cuticle, just so you know. I start right here, and I glue, and I brush. And what I do now is I push it toward the cuticle. Now, you want to take your time, but at the same time, you don't want to take too much time. Now, what I do now is I do the same. I paint the back of the nail because, and especially I concentrate on this area right here, because when you push it on, it is going to, make sure you keep this out of the way so you don't spill it. When you put this on, it is going to push that. So here's what I do. I just kind of lightly lay it on there real fast so I can turn my nail over. Okay? Now, you tip it up and you push it as comfortably as possible into the cuticle area. Let me see if I can do this again with me trying to hold it here. Make sure, look at it, make sure it's straight. It's popping up, so now you want to hold it. Make sure your nail is not on there quickly, or on crooked, rather. Oh my, that will be a disaster. The reason that you do that, the reason you start at the cuticle and go forward, so you don't get any air bubbles. Air bubbles are not your friend. And if you can't hold it, if holding it is uncomfortable, I take this little block because it's cushioned, and I just hold my finger on that block. And I make sure, you know, I roll it around a little bit to make sure the edges of the nail are secure. I'm going to hold this for a minute, and then I'm going to show you what else I do. In the meantime, I'm going to screw this top on. Okay, my darlings, we're 3/4 of the way there. Now, I'm going to use this block, and I'm going to push a little bit on my cuticle. Nothing is harsh. It shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't burn. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable. You just want to just make sure you press lightly, but you want to make sure that it's on there. Okay, it looks on there. So there was a little bit of, there's a jagged edge right here. I'm going to use this block, make sure it's not jagged anymore, and no, it is not. So there we go. Now, I also etch the nail because there's a shine on the nail, and you want your polish to stay on. Okay? Now, in the meantime, because I type, I do all these things, and see, you can see some of these corners are getting rounded. So I just go on here, lightly tidy up the rest of your nails. That's what you do. This is just the maintenance that I always do. Tidy your nails. Especially if you're typing, anything like this. Easy does it, because these If you go at it, pardon me, really, really hard, then the nail really, I mean, it'll get wonky on you really quick and it'll get out of control and then you'll be upset. We don't want that. Okay, so there we are. Make sure you wipe off your nails good. Just get the dust off. Next step, I believe it's on there. Make sure that it's the same. This is what I do. Pretty close, pretty close. My nail beds are not even, so it looks good enough to me. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't shake my polish. I roll it. And there's not a bead. OPI does not put beads in their polish. And I don't like those because I'll tell you what, back in the old days, you get to go in like this, and those beads will crack the bottom of the glass. Oh my, what a mess. So I roll it. Just give it a little roll. Now, I do not put a base coat, but I do use the top coat. So what I do is I really use somewhat of a dry brush. I do not start at the cuticle. I start about right here. And you should be able to paint your nails in about three strokes. Okay? Now, you're going to get here. And what you want to do is you want to push that product back to the cuticle. So that way you're not flooding your cuticle with polish, you see? Now that doesn't look bad. Needs another coat. You can tell. Needs another coat. All right, now what I want to do now is I'm going to take this trusty little orange stick and I'm going to take the pointed end. And I'm just going to go around the nail, make sure nothing is on there. I don't think so, but I don't want it to look wonky. So that looks pretty good. Now here's the other thing I'm going to do. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I've got pretty much a dry brush. I want to cap the ends of my nails. Okay? You see that? They'll last longer. The polish lasts longer. Just make sure there's not any parts of your nail that look, because you can see there, looking down the barrel of the nail. You don't want that. And it's because of course I'm using my hands. I type, I do other things, right? So you just want to come here and just cap that off. It's almost a dry brush, and it will dry quickly. See, there you go. And by doing that, it just makes your manicure look a little fresher. You know how that is. And that's what you want. You don't want a manicure that looks like you've had it on for over a week. That's how long I've had these nails on, is over a week. And I lost this one because I was cleaning my kitchen. I got in a mood and was cleaning my kitchen. Okay, so let's look down the barrel of these. Yes, they look nice. Yes, they look nice. They look pretty good. Okay, and they will dry quickly. This will dry pretty quickly. I'm going to pause, wait for this to dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're pretty much... And, when you use not much polish on your brush, it will literally dry pretty quickly. Okay, so here we go. Now, I'm going to start back here again, And I'm not going to start at the cuticle. And then I push it. Then I push it back toward the cuticle. And there we go. So that's second coat. That's all I'm going to put on here. Then I'll put a top coat and we're ready to go. Be right back. Okay, so now I'm ready to go for the top coat. And yes, unfortunately, no matter how dry your nails are, a top coat can, oops, there we go. The cap stuck. Well, my goodness. See how it gets stuck up in there? So the top coat will remove a little bit of your polish. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, but it's okay. It doesn't usually transfer to any, but I have a particular top coat that I use for red or dark nails. Okay, so that's how much you get on there. Here we go with the top coat. Same thing. You just touch the middle of your nail like this. You spread it out and then you push it toward your cuticle and then you finish your nail. Now, I see a little something there. We're going to fix it. It's on this side of my nail. I think it's part of the nail here. Let me see what I can do. There we go. I think that's good. Now, you're going to see I missed a little bit. I'm going to take my dry polish brush. I'm going to go back and fix that up. But this is it. You're done. And it goes very quickly. I would suggest that you do one hand at a time. Pick out all your nails that fit, put them in a row from your thumb to your small finger to your pinky, and then you size them accordingly, and then you one step at a time. So you etch the nail, you dehydrate, then you trim your nail, or you trim your nail after you etch, however you want to do that, but just make sure that you wipe off or you wash off all the dust. And then you can, I sometimes prime the nail. It's priming the nail or putting this on, pardon me, twice. And then you just do it one by one. Now, I wait until I have all my nails on until I polish. And then just like this, like that little gap that you see there, now that'll drive me crazy, so I'm going to fix it. So you go through and you paint, you polish, and you seal. So that's it, my darlings. I hope this has helped you, and thank you so much for being here. It's part of the psychic nail hand thing. You know what I mean? Gotta look good. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon, and don't forget to come about Thursday night for Help I'm Haunted. And you never know, the nails will probably play a big part. Talk with you soon. Bye for now.